bullets, I've lost them to shrapnel, I've lost them to bombs, but I never left him behind.
Never play fair.
Not good. No? Go, Alice. No. Not good at all.
Where's George? Where's George?
My
George. George. I don't see George. John C! Come here. Okay, is everyone listening to me? Is everyone here
Keep
right
friends
now?
close.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. From the very beginning, who was with George? Who was supposed to be with George? What happened?
Blood for
Down in
nothing!
the boiler room to look for stuff. I found gasoline and he says, go on up, take the gasoline up. I said, don't go anywhere, just stay here in
Only
the boiler room.
fools
I'm gonna run the gas
hesitate.
back up and we'll keep looking. Don't go any further. We've been looking ever since we've been gone. I mean, we just got in here and just started grabbing stuff.
However long
The rest of the day looking for him.
looking for him. We were in every corner. We were in every part of that basement, every part of that hospital.
Yeah, there was other stories. Came down to the point where we had to bail out.
I definitely feel guilty not being there. And him going missing is just much my fault than the 4 that went. Because I should have.
Why? Because I
left
can.
it behind me. I'm sorry. I wouldn't leave anyone behind.
Neither would I, okay? You would have left him behind if you were in our situation. You would have had to.
I've
I had to
made
make the
my
call.
choice.
We had to leave. There was 3 other people plus myself.
What we did today was wrong. We left one of ours behind. It goes against everything that I've done. It goes against everything that I have ever done in my life.
Have you guys ever been into combat? Have you ever been
No
shot
going
at
back.
in combat? I've done all of it. I've never left a man behind until today. I've never left a man behind until today.
To the point.
First love.
Some time. I was actually
Ready
gotta
for
go
trouble.
I'm ready to go. Joe's fresh. He's ready to go.
Oh, nobody's going without me. And nobody's going without me.
I know.
I like it.
As Lad says, we don't leave a man behind, so we went back in.
I needed to see everything.
Keep friends
We still
close.
have to make sure there wasn't a door or a little small crevice or something that would have given us some sort of clue.
George!
Only
did our best
fools
to search
hesitate.
everywhere. We checked absolutely every possible corner that we could.
George. George! George!
He's not in here. That's it.
An ally has been slain.
A kidnapping or certain disappearance or someone gone missing really brings up all
Ready
kinds
for
of
trouble?
emotions. From an internal panic to kind of a sadness to like an eternal hope that we were trying. We all were in different positions.
The first stage of grief is generally a combination of shock and denial, where survivors rationalize their feelings by denying the reality of the loss that they've experienced.
I
He
like
obviously wasn't there. So, I mean, he would have said, in his mind, he would have told you, get out.
You have to disregard that guilt feeling and leave the man behind. His body wasn't there.
second time the grid came on. This time we got the same message on the TV, the standard emergency broadcast.
No going
repeater.
back.
As part of the experiment, the warehouse power is turned on, and the colonist TV blares an emergency transmission.
After a major catastrophe, communication
Only
systems
fools
often break
hesitate.
down. When they come back online, survivors get their first glimpse of a return to normalcy.
But the power quickly vanishes, leaving the colonists to ponder their next
Friends
step.
close and
If
enemies
we really
distant.
want to get out of here, we need to know as much information as we can. Where are we going? Who else is out there? What's the state of the country or the world?
Never.
George Con, it's even more important that we get the word out.
So far, the colonists have been completely isolated. Now they want to see who's out there.
What I think we would
Why?
do is we would send out a
Because I
message
can.
saying we were looking for George. If he's injured somewhere and he's in another colony or, government authority, if anyone is listening,
An ally has
Only
been
fools
slain.
hesitate.
but it's just a thing.
An enemy has been slain.
About to get him to us.
Why? Because I can.
With renewed hope
Never
of outside
play
contact, the volunteers focus all their attention on communications.
What do you guys think about trying to build like a transmitter and receiver? We can build an old, like turn of the last century kind of spark gap transmitter.
With 28
I
years of
like
experience as a computer engineer, John C. is a natural fit to lead off with the first build.
Our big theme right now is to try to reach out and see if there's other people with information, find out what they know. So let me start quickly with my idea on the transmitter. This is going to be pretty caveman, but I think what we can do is go back about 100 years to when people were using just spark gap transmitters.
No
A
going
spark
back.
gap transmitter is a rudimentary communication system similar to a telephone.
When somebody pushes something down for like Morse code, if it's at high voltage to here, it'll charge up
I've
this
made my
capacitor.
choice.
When the capacitor gets high enough voltage, it'll break down the spark gap in a big noisy.
To get the transmitter up and running, John will need to build 4 components. First, create a capacitor, a device that stores electrical energy. Second,
An ally has been
spark gap,
slain.
a mechanism
An
that will
enemy has
activate
been
the stored
slain.
energy. Third, assemble a
To the
transformer
point.
to turn the electrical energy into radio energy. And finally, he'll wire up an
An
antenna
ally has
to
been
broadcast
slain.
radio over the AM band.
Friends
Hear
close
it. They
and
recognize
enemies
the code.
The
distant.
spark gap transmitter is the most primitive means of radio communication. It was the primary means of communication between ships in the 1990s.
If the transmitter
I've
works,
made my
the
choice.
colonists will also need a receiver to hear messages from anyone who responds. Rocket scientist Morgan is in charge of the design.
The receiver's actually pretty simple. We're going to have
Why?
the antenna
Because
here.
I can.
It's going to come down to an induction coil. This wire around some kind of plastic bottling, and then here we'll put the
You
headphones.
should be able to hear this transmitter running on the computer. We'll tell them to come back to us at this time, and we should be able to tune the receiver here.
In his workshop, John C. demonstrates how the capacitor or transmitter will work.
Never
We're going to store
play
energy
fair.
in this sandwich of aluminum foil and glass.
The capacitor will store the electrical energy that will eventually as radio waves.
I need
Only
about
fools
400
hesitate.
square inches of sandwich. So that's about a 20 by 20. So I'll end up making a sandwich that looks like that, about 20 by 20.
If John C. can get the transmitter working, the
I
colonists
like
will need to let outsiders know that they're broadcasting. In the yard,
An
Allison
enemy
and
has
Mike
been slain.
work on a massive visual solution to the problem.
Now we're going to figure out a big SOS here, and then here it's going to say XMIT in AM.
Let the bloodshed begin.
Well, this is our outline, and then we're going to select paint.
The letters SOS will communicate that the colonists need
A
help.
summoner has
It is maybe
reconnected.
rescuers doubt the sincerity of their plea.
slain.
colonists. If there's anyone out there that's listening who would have an AM receiver on, they'd hear us. Anyone from a municipality, military, Air Force, I mean, we can get out.
John T. now works on the second stage of his transmitter, the spark gap.
The way this works is we're going to start out with 110 volts from our inverter. Ultimately, from the solar panel. It's going to go through this switch, which we're going to use as a Morse code. When I put the switch down, it converts 110 volts to about 12,000 volts. It'll jump about this far across the air.
When the spark gap is engaged, it will activate the stored energy in the capacitor.
So whenever you hit this key, you'll see a spark jump across here.
And the electrical energy will get sent to the next stage of the project. The stored
Because I can.
Your team has
the
destroyed
colonists
the
are
turret.
throwing themselves into their work. But some can't let go of George.
Never.
I too, unfortunately, think of the worst. That was the best happening.
As the reality of grief begins to set in, survivors
Keep
often
friends
retreat to a
close
period of
and
introspection that frequently leads to depression.
I don't want to go through this without George.
The loss of Dr. George has motivated the colonists to ramp up their communication efforts and strengthen contractor Joey's conviction that they need an exit strategy.
Let's get that trust going so we can get out of here. That's what we should be working on.
The volunteers realize that the colony's location doesn't make sense for long-term survival. With their resources dwindling, they've decided to turn a broken-down flatbed truck into an escape vehicle. So far, they've gotten the engine running.
Only fools hesitate.
The bed stripped. Now, Joey's going to work on the truck's deck and install a tank for water storage.
This is my first battle.
No going back.
You know, you lean on the basics of what I've always done, which is framing. The same as making countertops for a kitchen.
Ready for trouble?
Basically, the floor's been laid. We also have hatch doors, small doors that come out and open access. This one right here. And I'm thinking instead of having benches right here, so we access this. When the walls go up, we can have slip-down benches.
As Joey continues his work on the truck, Vladimir has a communication idea that's a lot louder than static radio.
Making fireworks. So George is in the sky
Right now what I have is string with some glue on it. This is going to be like a fuse. We're going to go and need to try it out.
An ally has been slain.
With the fuse a success, the next step is to gather the materials they'll need to make the fireworks.
Take this one here. Okay. Let's grab this. This is going to be our launcher. Okay.
To hold the fireworks, they cut a length of ABS pipe into 6 12-inch lengths.
Perfect.
While Vladimir and Allison cut down the pipe, across the warehouse, Morgan continues to work on her receiver project. First, she wraps copper coil around an old peanut butter jar. Then she extends an antenna wire and secures it to the roof of the colony.
I just finished putting the antenna up on the roof, and now we'll be able to hopefully hear something.
Morgan. By moving the wire, pick up a different AM. The lower the frequency on the AM band.
Why? Because
the receiver works, but no one is broadcasting.
It might take a while to hear a response, you know. Could be a week, could be 4, and keep listening just in case.
Meanwhile, Vlad searches the warehouse for the most important ingredient to the fireworks, gunpowder.
Look at this.
Keep
Shotgun
friends
shell doesn't
close
give us extra gunpowder.
and
So you're gonna unload those?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm trying to hook up the TV to make the sound audible without a headset by using
Only
something
fools
with
hesitate.
a board already. I'm able to kind of circuit to use the outside and the sound.
By connecting the receiver to the TV powered by the colony's cells, Morgan will hear incoming communications throughout the warehouse.
No going
George's
back.
disappearance. I've already been through many emotions, like shock and being scared to being sad. Some people are taking it a lot harder than others.
George's disappearance really weighs on my mind. I should have just dragged him up with me and no ifs, ands, or buts, but he insisted on staying, so I feel responsible for his disappearance.
Why? Because
right
I
now, I'm
can.
just, hoping and praying that we're gonna get George back. Trusting that we will.
As the colonists
An ally
get
has
back
been
to work
slain.
on their projects, Mike
An
and
enemy
Allison
has
head
been
outside
slain.
to check on the SOS sign.
Oh, this is dry.
So Mike and I just finished the sign, the SOS sign. We're asking Amy now to help us
Ready for trouble?
get the sign to the highest point of the rooftop.
What's the lid?
Never.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
George sign of the SOS banner.
Have been slain.
Explain to the survivors that we were transmitting.
Get that boiler over a little more.
This side?
Yeah,
There you go.
there you go.
Okay.
If anyone gets to see that sign, they'll know that we're here and they can come help us. And maybe it's just another sign that George can see to lead him home. So we're hoping that this sign does good deeds.
Contractor Joey has finished the deck of the escape
To the
vehicle.
point.
Now it's time to install the water storage tank.
Ready? 1, 2.
Has been slain.
Pull it up.
This has a capacity of 75 gallons. We're going to do the best we can. We obviously, a lot of our water goes towards other things like cleaning our utensils and showering. That's not going to be the case on this trip.
Only
this is gonna be
fools
solely for
hesitate.
drinking purposes.
With the deck and water storage in place, the colonists are one step closer to driving out the urban setting.
Great job, Joey. You're really making
Keep
progress.
friends.
In the back of the warehouse, in this John B. to help fabricate the next step of his transformer, the transformer. A spool-like housing threaded with copper wire that should transform electricity into radio waves.
So it'll be like a funky plant stand.
John B. will drill holes in circles of wood to fit PVC pipe tubes where the wire coil will be wrapped.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Never play.
Morgan walks the copper wire through the PVC pipes.
This outer coil that Morgan and I are now winding works with the capacitor to set the frequency of the transmitter. And you know what we can do, Morgan? We can use your receiver to see if it's working.
An enemy has been slain.
I've
To
made
install
my
the
choice.
final component of the transmitter, the antenna.
Yeah, exactly. I was reading this book.
After a meal of
No
beans and
going
rice,
back.
Let's get one wire from there to here.
John C. and Morgan put the finishing touches on the build and are ready for a test run.
Okay. We're going to turn this thing
Keep
on.
friends close.
And if all works well,
Nothing
There
happened.
won't be a fire. Electricity can be incredibly useful, it can also be incredibly dangerous. The higher the voltage, the greater the danger. But we don't want to see any white hot sparks. Okay, so that would be a bad sign. The only spark we really want to see is right here. So I want you to stand back a little bit. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. What?
Why? Because I can.
Oh, no! Oh, that did not just
Only fools hesitate.
It might have toasted. When you hit your Spartan gas, it caused this to short.
That's the only time it was on, so that
Oh my god. Almost starting fire.
Why?
We're gonna have to wait till morning till we
When day breaks, John discovers that the fan in the inverter has been susceptible to overheating. John C. removes the fan from an old computer in the warehouse.
Ready
and
for
Mike
trouble?
installs it on the inverter.
Pull the fans out so the air flows. We're going to stick the fan on the back of it.
Exactly. That's the most likely scenario.
Keep friends close.
Enemy double kill.
That would solve the mains problem, but it'll also allow us to take it with us.
John's plan is to create an isolated high-voltage power supply using a single car battery and harvested electronics.
I'm taking a lot of electronic components out of stuff I found. Usually use precision instruments, not here in the colony. I want to get that nice and hot. Ah, just what we were looking for.
If it works, he'll be able to transform simple battery power
Intriguing.
into the high voltage needed to create a spark gap.
Use these simple components to create 12,000 volts of alternating current.
No going back.
That's 1,000 times we've upped the voltage from here to here.
So what's up?
So Mike, this is the acid test, so move back. I'm gonna just hit an SOS just to see. We're live. Mike,
Let's
we're live.
dance.
You guys are transmitting. Back up.
Doing work now? Whoa, look at that thing! What are you saying, John?
Colony in search of government
Never
institutions
play
subject
fair.
to attacks and kidnappings need food, water, protection, medicine, and info.
If Morgan's receiver picks up the transmission, the spark gap transmitter will be a success.
Well, John is transmitting.
Only fools
the
hesitate.
spark, which should be going out
Rampage.
I like it.
John, serious?
I knew that people had built spark
To
gap
the
transmitters. I'd never had the opportunity to build one.
Has been slain.
That transmitter.
Today, what we deemed George's birthday, we knew it was Christmas Day, so we wanted to all celebrate. Despite George not being here, we thought that George would still want that to happen. It's his birthday, and we're having a hat party.
do it the other way.
5 minutes, and this is what happened.
Smart move. Smart man.
Welcome to the Fellini movie. My birthday was a hoot.
You got a little chin strap?
I've made my choice.
And the cake. Oh my god, that looks awesome.
Everybody ready for the ball?
Finally, that was awesome.
I'm glad you
Ready
did
for
that.
trouble?
Your turret has been destroyed.
Without mercy.
An ally has been slain.
You're a scientist.
Okay. Present time. This is from myself and Mike. Oh my god, man. Right on.
Ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
Never have I had people go to such a make sure I had a good birthday. And it's absolutely telling the truth on that. That's really meant a lot.
Never play fair.
I've actually spent my birthday with a lot of different people. I'm shocked and surprised how close I
The colonists gather to launch the fireworks.
You watch the wire here. Okay,
Come
guys.
on, let's see him, let's see him.
You guys, this is huge. This is so
amazing.
important. This might find George tonight.
All right, good thoughts. Hoping George is watching.
Okay, guys, this is for George. 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Light the fuse.
Oh no! Hang on.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Keep friends
That was a
close
good try.
and enemies guessing.
I feel like it was beautiful to be a part of something that we were trying to create something good. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I really cared a great deal.
Because I
love
can.
everyone that was thrown into it. And I'm gonna miss them. I really can't feel it.
Only fools hesitate.
Coming up on the colony,
It's just around the corner.
new arrivals cause a rift in the warehouse, and the volunteers hit the breaking point.
I've never not been that strong enough.
Never play fair.
It's damn survival.
To the point. Only fools.
We're on the edge of a global catastrophic human conflict. Nuclear bombs, natural disasters, chemical and biological warfare. Without warning, the world as we know it can come to an end.
31 days ago, a group of volunteers entered to see survive and
I've
rebuild
made my
after a
choice.
simulated break leaves Los Angeles and the rest of the planet devastated. Their new home, a cordoned off 2,000 square foot
end up eating the rats.
SOS, SOS, SOS. Colony in search of government institution. Subject to attacks
Ready
and
for
kidnappings.
trouble?
Need food, water, protection, meds, and info. Transmitting daily on 900 kilohertz AM. Listening at 900 kilohertz AM.
Our messages.
You have been slain.
Unfortunately, we haven't heard Morse code. We haven't heard voice transmission back. It'd be nice to hear from someone though.
I think our morale is, it's one of the, it's probably the lowest.
I'm not sleeping.
Has been slain.
Mentally and emotionally. The constructed real will become real to those in it.
We've been attacked, robbed, sleep deprived, starved. It's left some people kind of jaded, really irritated, and just fed up.
I'm sick of this warehouse. I'm sick of the lack of food. I'm sick of the scumbags harassing us. I'm sick
No
of,
going back.
sick of everyone. I can just barely keep my mouth shut and tolerate other people.
The dramatic events of the past month and a half have taken a toll on more than just morale. The volunteers' nerves are frayed, and they're dropping the ball on managing their resources.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Survivors of a major catastrophe will certainly be challenged by emotional weakness. But they can't let themselves get distracted. Survival
An
must
ally
always
has
be
been
their number
slain.
one
Only
priority.
fools hesitate.
We like crossed some threshold where all of a sudden I never felt
Been slain.
until this week.
Working hard. This is affecting us in like so many different ways, emotionally, physically.
Food isn't the colonists' only depleted resource, as John V makes an alarming
Your
discovery.
turret has been destroyed.
Checked our propane. We're gonna have to find some alternate way to cook.
River water safe to drink. Purifying water is a two-step process: filtration and boiling. They can still filter using their charcoal system. But without propane, they need another way to sterilize the water.
I don't know if you guys foresaw like David and we
guessing.
would be out of propane, but this is it.
An ally has been slain.
Of course, there is an obvious solution. But John C.
Why? Because I can.
We can cook on that, but we got to come up with
Enemy killing
water
spree.
they use every day.
An
Because
enemy
right now,
has
we
been
have to boil
slain.
probably 5 to 6 of those buckets a day, and that would take somebody all day.
Not only would it be a colonist's full-time job, but it would take an estimated 110 pounds of their dwindling supply of wood every day to keep the fire going hot and long enough to boil 20 gallons. With this equation, they would run out of wood in just 2 weeks.
No matter what ends up being, something else goes wrong. That's just something else is wrong with it, and it just is chaos.
John C. is determined to find a way to purify water without propane or wood. While he puts his mind to fixing the
Ready for
purification
trouble?
problem, he puts his muscle into making a more efficient cook-off.
Why can't we just cook right on that then?
It's too rough. I gotta start with stuff.
1 hour. 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 1 ho this is really the second day where I've realized I'm not working as effectively because of our diet.
John C. finally comes up with a solution.
I wandered into a conversation as I was kind of in one of those, thoughtful moments, like what could I do? I walked over there. Amy and Leilani were talking about water purification. I'm thinking about one thing, and she starts asking me about how do we purify water? Can we use the solar, etc.? And all of a sudden, this giant kind of, light bulb moment happened.
Has been slain.
Many municipalities use to purify.
Ozone is an unstable form of oxygen that can be used to kill bacteria and other microbes in water. Ozone molecules can form in several different ways, one of which is when high voltage electrical discharge passes through the air, like
Walk outside and that great fresh smell. Well, a little of it makes it smell fresh. A lot of it actually is very, very active.
To purify water, John C. will build what he calls an ozonator. The ozonator will be comprised of two basic parts: the Tesla coil, which creates ozone by emitting high voltage electricity in the form of electrical arcs, and a container that will capture the ozone and pump it into a bucket of water, killing off any harmful microbes.
It should be better than chlorinating it. And we should be able to
only fools hesitate.
Purification isn't their only water problem.
We all agree that we're going to go 60. We are now down at 20. We're going to really need to go for a water run. Okay, all right. So John, Joey, and Allison, you guys can go ahead and stay. All right.
Ready for trouble?
Everybody ready?
Alrighty.
All right, bye.
Be careful.
Why?
Set anything down?
Because I
be
can.
Careful. Please be careful.
Every time we go to the river, we normally have some sort of altercation, and
keep
it seems
friends
like we're always
close
anticipating
and
marauders. We're never quite relaxed. We're never quite comfortable.
Okay, so side door's locked, back door's locked, right?
I've made my choice. No going back.
An ally has been slain.
To the point.
What do you see? Hey guys.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Hey
5
guys.
or more.
Look upriver. Get out of the river.
Only fools hesitate.
No, John V, go, go, get in the front. 2, 4, 7.
Are you ready for the judgment of God on America?
Never.
Prepare to meet God. Judgment's coming.
Why? Because I can.
Let's pull. Here.
Many people will view a major but as they spread their views, they may come in contact with other survivors that simply don't share their beliefs.
What? Come on!
As part of the experiment, a group of missionaries
No
will
going
introduce
back.
the subject of faith.
Los Angeles is under the judgment of God.
I'm getting really nervous.
Have been slain.
Faith in God is important. Do you have faith in God?
I do.
Amen.
John V. entered the colony with a strong belief in God.
I think he leads people in a certain direction, and it's for a reason.
Aced.
Everybody has a purpose.
But early on in the experiment, his values were tested and compromised.
You know what? I need to check you out.
Oh my God. That looks like stealing to me.
During the initial shock of entering into an immersive experiment, some participants may move away from their core beliefs and survival mode. Faith is the only thing keeping them together.
I'm Bob. We preach on the river. We're trying to survive, just like you. We got to stick together as human beings.
It was nice to see that people are still keeping hope and faith alive. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
All right, guys, just don't go any further. Just stay right there.
Well, what about sharing? Maybe it's sharing time.
We don't have the resources.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Okay, well then, what's the point of surviving if your souls burn in hell? And you need to go to God and say, God, help us, we need help.
Yes, is there any more to give? And I'll give you my own water that I brought, my own jug. Here's my own jug of water. It's all, I have.
All right, what a guy.
Keep friends close.
What a guy.
And enemies guessing.
God bless you.
A little part of me in the back of my head that says, give them your utility knife thing that you have. Just give it. And sometimes I think God speaks to you that way. Just give it to him.
Have a good journey. Thank
God
you.
be with you.
Only fools hesitate.
And is on the horizon.
When the lady's about halfway down, she turns around, comes around and gives me a can of food.
Thank you.
Never.
Are you okay?
Ready for trouble?
Like a little battery charge.
Double kill. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Hey, I think they're back. Come on, up front. You guys, what took you so long? God, you guys.
The River Party returns to the colony with 220 gallons of water and news of their trip.
We ran into some strangers. 9 or 10
missionaries.
Yeah.
They didn't want to come back with you. They didn't want anything. Just wanted
They
to
asked
talk.
for food and just spreading the gospel, and that was really about it. And then they actually gave me a can of food.
Executed.
With the water supply replenished, John C. gets back to work on his ozonator. First step, the Tesla coil. A Tesla coil consists of 2 coils of wire, out in a flat spiral, and one wrapped hundreds of times around a plastic pipe. As current spirals around the flat primary coil, its voltage increases. As the current flows up the many windings of wire, the voltage increases until it's released from an electrode at the top.
There would be about 100,000 coming out from the top. It would make me kind of cool with the discharge.
John starts by making the primary.
My pleasure.
I'm going to make a black coil of wire all the way out here. Evil person. Good. With the glue
Why?
gun.
Because I
With
can.
the primary coil complete, John puts the secondary coil in the center.
So this piece of pipe right in the middle of this, I have thousands of wires. Yeah, but maybe 1,000
I've
windings.
made my
And these are all wires that I found from pieces of old transformers in here.
To power the Tesla coil, John C. will use the same power source from the built last year. To test it, problem may be solved.
Have been slain.
It's been about 6 weeks now, and we officially.
There's a huge rat, like this big, like huge white and black rat in our back.
Queen bee rat.
John B, you must stop your shoemaking and go kill the rat.
Some of us are just terrified of rats. I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm squeamish if they're gonna climb up my leg, but in general, they don't really bother me. They're just becoming kind of a pest.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I think we need to go hunting some vermin, so it's open season on the rodents. Get in front of them. Get in front of Vlada. Get in front of him. Get in front of him.
Enemy rampage.
Tonight's dinner
An
is
ally has been slain.
singed over Michael's
Enemy
fire
double
barrel.
kill.
But tortillas can't
Ace.
Protein is essential for survival. When you can't
Your
get it by normal
inhibitor
means,
has been destroyed.
Eating their input would provide only one
Why?
meal for the 9
Because I
colonists.
can.
And eating the goats would be a psychological challenge for some.
It's difficult because we've named them Courtney and Junebug.
No going back.
When it comes down to it, you know, you're starving, we have no protein. Yeah, we're gonna end up eating the rats.
So now it's time for Vlad to bag some rats.
Looking for protein, that is my goal. We gotta stay strong. We gotta get it from some good old red meat.
Never play fair. Ready for
was a
trouble?
miss.
Coming up on the colony, new arrivals. And a test to their unity.
You give them your dinner and you can starve.
Everything in the warehouse is starting to drive us a little crazy.
Friends close and enemies guess.
So the theory of how it works. Now I've just got to test out my different theories about how to make it work again. I was so past my era. I never even saw one.
Your
before.
turret has been
I thought
destroyed.
records were like this big, and they're coming out with this little one. I grew up in a very digital age, so this, even though it's something simple like music, to me it's going to be a lot harder than any other project I've probably worked on. So a phonograph works by a needle in the groove of the record. The music is going to be picked up by the needle, interpreted by the cartridge. Will run through the wires, through a prong, and it creates a vibration with electrical signal,
I've
which you
made
can
my
then
choice.
amplify. The needle's gone and the cartridge is busted, and I
Your
couldn't find the
team has
amplifier.
destroyed a
So
turret.
I'm gonna have to fix it. There's a lot of dark moments here, and then hopefully it'll bring everyone else happiness.
Only fools hesitate.
So, that's it.
John C. and ER nurse Allison have been working on a solution.
To the point.
Allison and I really wanted to make soap. It's a comfort, but we're running very, very low on soap. Oh, look at that. It's hard.
2 weeks ago, they mixed together lard, added lavender and lemon, put it in a pan set. And now they're going to...
An ally has been slain.
Take a piece of that. Here's another little piece. Let's go see if it
No going
lathers.
back.
That'll be the key. Is it slippery? Oh, I feel it. I'm feeling like it's getting clean now. Look at that. Look at that.
Ready.
This truck is our last measure. Because this warehouse is not safe. And I want to make sure we get somewhere safer.
Truck with a speed vehicle. So far, they've gotten the engine running.
It runs!
I like it.
And bring it up.
But on the street outside...
Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. Ace.
In the next phase of the experiment, the colonists to share their dwindling resources. Tested will be the colonists' unity and sense of charity.
Man, keep on trucking. Please. Keep on trucking.
No, I didn't open up with a smile and yeah, sure, coming right up, sir. I told them to keep their moving.
We don't have water. We are rationing like a... Keep on trucking, brother.
Sir, please, can I just talk to you for like 5 seconds?
The minute